July 2nd, and the water temperature is 49. Always when you get in, the first 30 seconds are the hardest, and this is where you have to exercise your top down mental control and resiliency, because when you get in, everything in your body, your brain is telling you to get out, but you've already made up your mind to stay in the water safely for a certain amount of time, 1 minute, 5 minutes, depending on your adaptation and resiliency. And you sit in here and you allow your brain and body to do its things. Without your control, your body starts releasing epinephrine, and dopamine. But make sure you unplug the chest freezer if this is how you do your cold immersion before you get in. You know what I find fascinating is the creation stories, their evolution and adaptation. There are two creation stories in the Bible, the first one and the second one, which they vary significantly in style and content and message. But did you know that those creation stories are adaptations of earlier creation stories? I'm talking about the Enuma Elish and the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh goes to the earliest, like, fragments of it go back to 3000 BCE, whereas the Enuma Elish maybe 600-700 BCE, maybe more, I don't remember exactly. But the first creation story, in the opinion of many biblical scholars, is written in about the 6th century BCE, in the exilic period. And it's a retrojection. It's written at that time and it is attributed to Moses. But the motifs in the creation story gives an insight to its origin. It shares many motifs with the story of Enuma Elish. Ooh. And also the second creation story shares many motifs with the Epic of Gilgamesh. One of those motifs is creation of pre-existence from material that already pre-existed. You know, the creation story of the Bible never advocates creation out of nothing. The earth was formless, or there was a void, there was chaotic waters, and the wind of God was swooping over the chaotic waters. So never a creation out of nothing. Just like the story of Enuma Elish. It starts with a temporal clause, just like also the first story of creation starts with a temporal clause. And as if it gives you the impression that there will be a cosmic battle between God and the primeval entities. But instead of that, which was familiar to the ancient Israelites, as God, it mentions in Psalm, killed the Leviathan, distributed its flesh for food to the people of the wilderness. The author gives us a more of a monotheistic approach. Like God started creating by his will, and whatever he created, he saw it was good. In the second creation story, there is talk about, the talking snake. There is a talking snake that suggested to Adam and his wife to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And when they did that, they become wise like a god. And the same thing happened to Enkidu after he was seduced by Shamhat, I believe her name. He lost his affinity to nature and he lost his closeness to animal. He lost this Edenic existence, so to speak, but he became wise like a god. If you look forward after to the Quranic creation story, and there is about 1200 years in time difference between the Quranic creation story and the biblical creation story, you find those same motifs but with different adaptations and repurposing. I will talk about those maybe tomorrow, but now I need to conclude my cold immersion chat. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna be going for a run now. Thank you for joining me to my cold immersions chat.